Yes, absolutely. Everything starts with ourselves. So when we have a good, healthy, strong relationship with ourselves, we can develop our career and we can develop our personal life. Because at the end of the day, your career is a relationship. We can go so far in our careers, we can go so far in our personal life. But if we don't have that, like the best relationship you can have is the one you have with yourself. And then after that, everything else really falls into place. And that allows everything else to be so much easier.
So true. With these personal changes, what kind of transformations you saw in people? Like what happened after they went through your program? Did they change jobs? Did they change partners? Well, tell us some interesting stories.
One lady that I was coaching, everything around her started to change. Her business really started to grow, her self-belief, the things that would have really upset her and bothered her, whether it was with maybe friends or ex-partner, it didn't have the same effect on her. She was much more able to manage those situations. She was responding rather than reacting, realizing that what's going on around me here is not personal to me. When she really kind of got that understanding and had that realization that this is actually not got anything to do with me, so she was changing her response, everything else just started to fall into place for her because she's in a much more relaxed space. She's got peace of mind. Another lady that I was working with just blossomed and bloomed in her career. I seen nothing like it. How she developed. It was like she was a flower that was closed over in the corner, and then after 16 weeks you just see this flower completely blossom. Her feedback that she got from her colleagues was incredible. She was telling me about the feedback. She said, my colleagues have literally been coming to me saying, wow, what have you been doing? This is incredible. And she didn't really see it. We tend not to see the changes ourselves. Things don't
Sure.
happen overnight. It's gradual changes. We don't see them until we sort of reflect back. But the
Mhm.
people around us really see how we're growing and we're developing. A client of mine in her workplace, she felt like the people around her were quite toxic and she felt difficult to work in that environment. So we did quite a bit of coaching around that. And she said to me, everything has changed. She said, the people around me have actually changed. And I said, well, I think you've both changed. I said, you've changed how you perceive them. You've changed how you react to them. Therefore, they're changing their behavior based on your behavior.
Yeah, it's interesting. Just like on the airplanes, they say you need to put your own mask on first before you can put on somebody else's. And that's what happened with you. You put your life mask on, and look at you. You're saving others, changing lives. And
Yeah.
they're going through this transformation as well. And it's really beautiful to hear that. Lisa, is there anything else you'd like to share with our listeners?
Just to say that for so long I held off. I felt that how I was how I was. And there was nothing I could do about it. Everybody else seemed to be living a much more connected, grounded, confident life. And if only I could be like that, but hey ho, I can't. And to know that it doesn't have to be that way. You get to choose how your life is going to be. So if you're putting off getting support, if you feel like this is just how I've got to live my life, don't accept that. If you're thinking about maybe getting some support, or you think that you could be doing more in your life or embracing more in your life, go for it. Really go for it, because that's why I love coaching, because I say to people, I don't want to see somebody struggling for longer than they need to. The earlier you can do this work, the better. There's always people out there who will support you. And remember, it's just small stepping stones. If you think there's more out there for you, there definitely is. And don't hold yourself back.
All right. What's next for you, Lisa?
Well, I'm currently actually doing some more CIPD training in leading learning and development, because I'm quite keen to go back into the working environment, because I think there's a lot of teaching can be done and learning to be taught in the career, in the working environment. Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be corporate, but I'm keen to go into organizations and to really build into the learning and development the importance of emotional intelligence.